So, as you all know, I am attempting to show up here on live every day just to document the process, continue to practice my speaking skills, but also at the same time, like having something to look back on, in the future. And, so yesterday was Sabbath and wanting to make sure that I am, continuously like practicing being present and just being away from the world and just getting into quiet places and just enjoying life more than anything. As we've talked about in past videos, just saying yes to life and seeing how other things are moving and grooving. You never know who you meet. You never know what you're going to look at. You never know what you're going to encounter and like what realizations are going to come from that. And so, in also full transparency, y'all know that I'm working on Death to Distraction. And I'm going to be actually in the process of putting a workshop together for my business sister, Jules, as she is creating like monthly takeovers for workshops. So I would love for you to go check her out. It's Jules Arbayo, her Instagram, and you'll see my other business sister who's going to be doing a human design workshop tomorrow. So check that out. I'll be doing November's workshop takeover, and I'm basically going to teach folks on how to work on your do not disturb profiles and going through your phone and really setting it up so that it doesn't distract you from the work that you're meant to do, and that it's being asked for you to do also. And just full transparency, obviously I'm going to be teaching that, but I still have that, slight addiction, it's not perfect. It's so subtle, and full transparency. It's because I'm also in a new relationship. So, that's something that I've had to manage and find balance in, because like, even though I'm currently in this, very spiritual space right now, and going, diving deep into just like my spirit and my soul, and really asking God to like search me and to reveal things to me. And so what he's been revealing is what's been so pervasive in my life for my whole life, right? Just being in relationship and being in companionship, specifically romantic ones, has been what I've idolized for so long, and especially being a part of the queer community. It's like, it's kind of like what we got shoved into, because like we were excluded from so many spaces like churches and spiritual gatherings and things of that sort in Western culture. Because let's be real, in a lot of tribes and indigenous lands, we've coexisted just as anybody else. I'm talking about specifically Western European centric cultures. And so and also like as an only child, I'm just like, I want friendship, I want companionship, but like I didn't know what that looked like and what that meant. And so I just seeking out romantic relationships. I thought that was the answer, so after programming myself, and also the media is also programming us, so much so that I think it's very intentional, so that we are less threatening to the system. Something to think about, something to talk about, because it kind of teaches us to just stay within our our nuclear families, as opposed to having like communal intimacy and love and a lot of community care work and all that stuff, right? Anyways, so full transparency in a new relationship, and also in this very deep developmental stages. And so what's being revealed to me is like, hey, look, this thing that has had your attention for over 15 years, and also has been the big reason why you haven't been listening to me and haven't been attentive and let alone obedient, is in your life again. And we need to pay attention to that, And so I realized, I was like, yeah, my phone may be all the do not disturb, notifications are all under control, all these things, but I still found that pinging on me. I was still like, oh, like, did they text back? Did they not? Y'all know what it's like being in a new relationship. So you're just like all excited and stuff. And then, but then that it starts, planting seeds and wanting to like always check your phone and stuff. So it's like, yeah, you may have all of this under control, but it's like, again, this accessibility, like how we're so accessible to everybody. And so, so yeah, long story short, one, Sunday is Sabbath, but also two, I was like, you know what? I read something the other day and it was all like, if you're bringing your phone, no, it was a repost. It was a repost from Simon Sinek. If you didn't see it on my stories, he's like, if you're bringing your phone into every room, there's a problem. So I was like, okay, yeah, I may not have my notifications on. I may not be on social media all that much, but in the few rooms that are in this space, I'm definitely bringing my phone into every room, hoping that, you know, my partner is going to text me or reach out to me, you know? And so I was like, okay, we need to leave the phone at home and have a whole day, you know, without it. And so, yeah, so yesterday I left my phone at home. I went to a coffee shop. I journaled instead. And it was amazing. It was great. And you all know that. And you all, you know, when you do those things. But I think the challenge for me and challenge for others is being like, are we bringing our phones into every room? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, if I feel this thing just being so subtle with me, I can only, again, imagine with people who don't have control over their devices and things of that sort. And so I was like, okay, like I had to have an honest conversation with myself. Like, yo, that thing is that's still there. And it'll probably always be there. Like, we have to remember, like, distractions will always be there, you know, and a distraction doesn't always mean a device. It can mean a relationship, a romantic relationship. It can mean a conflict. It can mean resentment. It can mean, media, it can be the news, it can be reading, whatever, right? It could be so many things. So again, I just wanted to be on here and being transparent and just be like, ooh, like it's not perfect, and I'm still distracted in different ways, and there's different things that are calling me to my phone. It's not just going to be the social media, it's not just going to be app notifications, it's going to be wanting to be in contact with my loved one, right? And so I was like, okay, we have to now, like, the thing I'm working on is like, okay, how do we leave the phone at home? How do we leave the phone in another room? How do we just like create physical boundaries around the device? So yeah, there's that. And you all are probably be like, yo, what's on your head or not on your head? Yeah, well, literally yesterday I woke up and I was just like, you know, I'm like movement in day to day. I'm like, well, what do you want to do next? And for some reason, I was like, I could not get started with my day unless I did this. I mean, given like getting haircuts and my hair was just, it needed to start over really. But at the same time, I was like, I needed to start over too. So in the moment, I was like, oh, should I document this? Or should I like listen to like rage music when I do this? And I was like, no. This was just something for me that I needed to do. I've never cut my own hair. I've never buzzed my own head. The only other 2 times I've done it was for COVID, and then the other one was when I was in college and I wanted to start growing out my hair again because I wanted to be, wanted to be more femme presenting because I, wanted to attract more masculine folks. And I thought that that's what they would like. Anyways, that was 15 years ago. But yeah, like, I feel like this change more than anything is moving more towards like that less is more, you know? I mean, just even simply styling my hair was always like, I was like, it's fun and it looks great when it's happening, but it was also very distracting. And just realizing like how much, we have so much identity around our hair, right? And yeah, so just the best way I could describe it was just like, you know, when you're in the ocean and you're on a boogie board and like you catch a wave and you wash up onto shore, like that's just what it felt like. I was just like, yeah, this is the best right move that I can do right now. And it's just again, another shedding and another like non-attachment, a lot of letting go. And I was like, yeah, what's hair also? So I'm feeling really good about it. I mean, of course there's moments where I'm just like, ooh, who's that person? I'm like, yeah, who is that person? You know, so getting the chance to continue to reintroduce ourselves, you know, it's such a fun concept to be like, literally the person, like whoever is watching this or whatever the case, like who you see right now, like the next time you watch this, I'm going to be a different person, you know? And I think that that's a part of it. If we're not always reintroducing ourselves in a way, it's like, what are we doing? You know? And I think like just in full transparency, like growth and progress is a part of us. It doesn't have to be in these big ways. It can also be in these subtle ways, you know? And so, yeah, it's nice to just be able to reintroduce yourself. Now, are all of my branding photos like incongruent? Yeah, sure, whatever. But also at the same time, like, It is what it is. So anyways, expect at least one day out of the week where I'm not going to post. But again, I'm just here to see who I get to reintroduce myself as in the following year after all of this documentation. All right, y'all. I hope that you had a great weekend, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye now.